Upon arriving, Yin immediately sensed something was wrong. The door to Jungkook's apartment was slightly ajar. Her heart raced as she pushed the door open wider. "Jungkook," she called out with a trembling voice, but there was no answer. Her eyes then landed on a figure sitting on the sofa. Yin froze. There sitting was Nara, wearing Jungkook's oversized shirt, her hair messy as though she had just woken up. For a few seconds, Yin could only stand there frozen. "Why, are you here?" Her voice quivered. Nara turned toward her, offering a small smile. "Oh, Yin." Her voice sounded casual, as if there was nothing strange about the situation. Yin took a step forward, her jaw clenched. "Where is Jungkook?" Nara shrugged. "I don't know. He was still here with me earlier. I'm also waiting for him to come back." Yin clenched her fist. "Stop playing games, Nara. How come you're here, wearing his shirt?" Nara smirked. "That's none of your business, right?" Yin's heart felt like it was being pierced. She took a deep breath, trying to calm herself, but her emotions were already running high. She was angry and disappointed. What did it mean when Jungkook had been so busy and unavailable lately? Was he busy with Nara? Yin's heart was shattered. Was this what her uneasy feelings over the past few days were about? "Alright, I won't listen to any explanations from you," she said, her voice trembling. "If Jungkook comes back, just tell him I've gone home." Without waiting for a response, Yin turned around and quickly left the apartment. As soon as she arrived home, Yin went straight to her room and locked the door. Her eyes burned, and finally, the tears she had been holding back fell. She cried in silence, pressing her face into her pillow. "I'm so stupid." She had trusted Jungkook completely, but tonight, she felt like she had been played. Her mother knocked on the door repeatedly. "Yin, sweetheart, are you okay?" "What's wrong, sweetheart? Talk to me." But Yin didn't answer. She could only cry and cry. Her heart ached. 1 hour later, there was another knock on her bedroom door. Yin was still lying on the bed, her face damp with tears. "Yin?" That voice, her heart pounded. The knocking grew stronger. "Yin, open the door." But Yin remained silent. "Yin, I know you're in there. Please, just listen to me for a moment." Yin shut her eyes tightly, not wanting to hear anything. "Yin, I won't leave until you open this door. I need to explain something." Yin bit her lip. Half of her wanted to continue ignoring Jungkook, but the other half wanted to hear his explanation. Finally, with heavy steps, she got up and opened the door. Jungkook stood there, his face filled with guilt. "I don't want to hear your excuses," Yin said coldly. Jungkook gazed at her deeply. "I know what you saw in my apartment earlier, but I swear, Yin, it's not what you think." Yin let out a bitter laugh. "Not what I think. I saw Nara in your apartment wearing your shirt, Jungkook. What else am I supposed to think besides?" Her voice cracked. Jungkook immediately cut her off. "Baby, what you saw earlier is not what it looks like. I can explain everything to you. So please, listen to me first, okay?" Yin remained silent, still staring at him with suspicion. And then, Jungkook began to tell the story behind the misunderstanding. Jungkook had just finished showering and was rushing to get dressed for his meeting with Yin tonight. He grabbed his phone from the table. "Ah damn, my phone's dead again. I forgot to charge it. I'll just plug it in later in the car." His grumbling stopped immediately when his eyes landed on a small box on the table. He opened it once more, his gaze softening as a faint smile appeared on his lips. Inside was a diamond ring. He had spent so much time choosing the perfect one for Yin that he lost track of time, making him late to prepare for their special night. "Baby, tonight, I'm going to propose to you. We're getting married soon," he murmured confidently before finally heading out. The apartment hallway was quiet as Jungkook stepped out of his door. However, he stopped in his tracks when he saw someone standing right outside. "Nara." Jungkook let out a deep sigh. He had no intention of dealing with this woman anymore. After all the times he had tried to avoid her, she had shown up again tonight. "What are you doing here, Nara?" he asked flatly, locking his apartment door as he prepared to leave. "I just want to talk, Jungkook. Please, hear me out," Nara pleaded. But Jungkook wasn't interested. "There's nothing to talk about." Nara looked at him desperately. "I still love you, Jungkook." Jungkook averted his gaze, trying to keep his patience in check. "I've told you many times, Nara, I only love Yin. But I was by your side first. Why not me?" Nara's voice trembled with frustration. Jungkook's eyes darkened. "Because my heart will always choose Yin." Tonight was supposed to be special. He had planned to propose to Yin on their 3rd anniversary. He wanted to see the joy in her eyes, but this woman standing before him was ruining his mood entirely. I'm going to propose to Yin tonight on our anniversary, Jungkook declared. Nara's eyes widened in shock, her face turning pale. You can't do that. Jungkook didn't want to hear anymore. He turned to leave. But suddenly, Jungkook, don't go. Nara ran forward and wrapped her arms around him from behind. Jungkook froze, his entire body tensing. Let me go, Nara. But she only clung to him tighter. I can't live without you. I just can't. Jungkook's patience snapped. He forcefully pried her hands off him, causing her to stumble and fall onto the hallway floor. Ugh, the loud thud echoed through the corridor. But what happened next made Jungkook's blood run cold. Nara suddenly coughed up blood. She gasped for air, her body shaking as thick, crimson liquid dripped down her lips, staining her clothes and hands. Jungkook felt his stomach churn at the sight of her blood mixed with saliva. Nara, what's happening to you? Nara kept coughing, more blood spilling from her mouth. Jungkook took a deep breath, steadying himself against the nausea. He was really not used to seeing so much blood like that. Then, without hesitation, he unlocked his apartment door again and pushed it open. Get inside. Nara had no choice but to comply. With trembling steps, she stood up and walked into Jungkook's apartment. Meanwhile, Jungkook quickly headed to his bedroom, grabbing a clean shirt from his closet. Go to the bathroom and clean yourself up. Change into this. Nara nodded weakly before walking into the bathroom. Meanwhile, Jungkook pulled out his phone to call security downstairs. He needed their help, but once again, he had forgotten that his phone was dead. Damn it. In the end, he decided to go down to the lobby himself to find security. He didn't want to be alone with Nara, especially in such an urgent situation. Nara was clearly unwell, and if security arrived, it would be easier for him to ask for any necessary assistance. When Jungkook returned with a security guard, he stopped abruptly in front of his apartment door. He could smell Yin's perfume, the one she always wore. His heart pounded. Did Yin come here earlier? Nara, who was now sitting on the sofa wearing Jungkook's shirt, remained silent at first. Answer me, Nara, Jungkook growled. After a few moments of silence, Nara finally nodded. Yes, Yin came. Jungkook felt his entire body freeze. Did she see you like this? Nara didn't answer. Jungkook clenched his fists. He already knew the answer. Damn it, Yin must have misunderstood everything. I need to leave now. I'll call my mom and ask her to bring your mom here, Jungkook said, turning around to go. But suddenly, Nara grabbed his hand. Wait, don't go yet, please, Jungkook. Jungkook shot her a sharp glare. Let go of my hand, Nara. Tears welled up in Nara's eyes. I'm sick, Jungkook. I have leukemia. I don't have much time left. Please, stay with me. Jungkook's eyes widened. Leukemia? He stood still for a moment before exhaling deeply and shaking his head. I'm sorry to hear that, but that doesn't change anything, Nara. I still can't love you. Nara sobbed harder. You really don't pity me? I just want you, Jungkook. Please, stay with me. I love you so much. Jungkook let out a frustrated sigh. Nara, I'm really sorry. I never expected you to have leukemia, and I truly feel bad for you. But right now, Yin must be crying, misunderstanding everything that happened here. I'm the one crying right now, Jungkook. Can't you think about me for once? I still care about you. That's why I'm letting you stay here. But I won't let Yin walk away just like that. I don't want her to cry for long, please understand. Yes, for Jungkook, chasing after Yin was far more important. Without wasting any time, he immediately left and approached the security guard who had been standing at the door of his apartment. Sir, I'm leaving my friend in your care. I have to go right now. I'll contact my parents shortly, so please stay with her until both our parents arrive. She's sick. I trust you, and I'll give you a tip when I return. Jungkook said as he gently patted the security guard's shoulder. The security guard simply nodded, and then Jungkook hurriedly left. As soon as Jungkook got into his car, he quickly grabbed the cable and plugged in his phone to charge. While waiting for his phone to power up, his mind was racing with worry about what might happen next. When the phone screen lit up, he immediately opened the dialer and searched for his mother's number. His hand trembled slightly as he pressed the call button, waiting for his mother to pick up on the other end. Mom, please listen. Jungkook's voice sounded rushed and a bit panicked as his mother answered the phone. I need you to contact Nara's mom immediately. Tell her to come to my apartment and pick up Nara. She just threw up blood. I don't know what to do. His mother was shocked to hear the news, but she tried to stay calm. What? Threw up blood? That's really concerning. Do you know that she has leukemia, Jungkook? Jungkook took a deep breath, trying to calm himself down. Yes, Mom. She just told me. But the problem is, there's been a huge misunderstanding between me and Yin. Yin saw Nara at my apartment earlier, and I can't let Yin think badly of me. I need to explain everything to her right away." His mother listened carefully. "Oh, so Yin saw Nara there? So, what are you going to do now?" Jungkook bit his lip, feeling anxious. "I need to see Yin right now, Mom. I can't wait for you and Nara's mom to get here. Yin must have misunderstood, and I'm afraid if I don't clear things up soon, it's only going to get worse. I'm already in the car. Nara's still at my apartment, and there's a security guard with her, someone I trust." His mother could hear the concern in his voice. "All right then, I'll go to Nara's mom now and bring her to your apartment. You be careful, Jungkook." Jungkook nodded, even though his mother couldn't see him. After their conversation ended, he quickly hung up and pressed the gas pedal. The car sped off, his thoughts in turmoil. On the road, all he could think about was one thing: meeting Yin and explaining everything before things got worse. Yin sat on the edge of her bed, her body still feeling weak after crying for so long. Her eyes were slightly swollen, but her heart began to calm down after hearing Jungkook's explanation. The man sat in front of her, his gaze filled with sincerity. Jungkook had explained everything, from the beginning to the end. He told her how he met Nara, the shocking incident of her vomiting blood, and how he immediately left Nara to meet Yin as quickly as possible. Yin lowered her head and let out a long sigh. She felt guilty for jumping to conclusions about Jungkook. I'm sorry, Jungkook. I was too quick to judge." Jungkook gently shook his head. "It's okay, baby. I understand. If I were in your shoes and saw something like that, I would probably misunderstand too. But I should have trusted you." "Yeah, you should have trusted me, because I only love one person, and that's you," Jungkook said with a faint smile. Yin looked at him deeply. Those words felt so sincere, so heartwarming. "Do you really love me?" Jungkook nodded. Without a doubt, he gently held her hand, squeezing it softly. "I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Yin fell silent. Her heart began to beat faster. Slowly, Jungkook pulled a small dark blue box from his pocket. His eyes looked at Yin with hope as he opened the box, revealing a sparkling diamond ring under the light of the room. "Yin, will you marry me?" Yin froze. Her chest felt tight with emotions. She couldn't put into words. Jungkook was really proposing to her. She looked at the ring in front of her, then back up at his face. "Jungkook, are you sure?" Jungkook chuckled softly at her question. "Do you think I'm joking?" "I'm sorry, baby. I spent so much time picking the perfect ring for you that I lost track of time. I wanted to propose to you on our anniversary." "So that's why you were late?" Yin stared at him in disbelief. Jungkook nodded again. "Yes, because of that and also because of the Nara situation." Yin's heart fluttered. Without thinking any further, tears of happiness flowed down her cheeks. "Yes, I will, Jungkook." Jungkook's smile widened. Without hesitation, he took the ring and slipped it onto Yin's finger. It fit perfectly. Yin looked at the ring on her finger, her heart full of warmth. This wasn't a dream. Jungkook had really proposed to her. Jungkook then moved closer, cupping Yin's face with both of his hands. "I love you." Yin smiled happily, looking into his eyes with all the love in her heart. "I love you too, Jungkook." Jungkook gently held Yin's face, his fingers brushing her soft cheek, as if afraid to disturb the peace that had settled between them. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the world around them seemed to disappear. There was only the two of them in that room, only the feelings they had held for so long, only the deep longing they shared. After a few seconds of staring at each other, Jungkook finally lowered his gaze to Yin's lips. Without saying a word, they moved closer until their lips touched. The kiss started gently, but slowly became more intense. It had been over 3 weeks since they last met, and the longing between them flowed so strongly. Every movement was filled with unspoken desire. It felt as though time had stopped for a moment, and the world belonged only to them. Yin responded to the kiss with all her heart, her body warming as they drew closer. Without realizing it, they had already found themselves lying on Yin's bed, holding each other, wrapped in an incredible warmth. All the burdens and anxieties they had felt seemed to vanish in an instant. But as the kiss deepened, Jungkook suddenly snapped back to reality. His mind returned to the fact that there would be a great danger if Yin's mother suddenly arrived and saw them in such an intimate moment. He gently pulled back, breaking the kiss slowly. "Jungkook," Yin gasped, her eyes closed, her body still lying on the bed, resting in Jungkook's embrace. Jungkook chuckled softly, trying to calm himself. "Damn, we almost lost control. Imagine if your mom came in now." Yin opened her eyes, smiling faintly, and laughed along with him. "You're right. That would be a disaster." They both laughed lightly, gazing at each other with love in their eyes. Even though the kiss had stopped, they remained wrapped in each other's arms. Jungkook gently touched Yin's face, kissing her forehead. "No one will ever replace you in my heart, baby," Jungkook whispered softly. Yin's cheeks flushed again, and she remained silent, but her arms tightened around him. 3 days after her engagement to Jungkook, Yin received a message from Nara. "I want to meet, just the two of us." Yin read the message without expression. She knew it had to be about Jungkook again, but this time, Yin didn't hesitate at all to accept the invitation. Not just because Nara wanted to meet, but because there was something Yin needed to say as well. So, that afternoon, in a quiet city park, they finally met. Yin arrived first. She sat on a park bench, surrounded by fresh green trees. The air that afternoon felt cool, but there was a tension hanging in the atmosphere. Before long, Nara arrived. Her steps were a little slow, probably because of her weakness from her illness. Her face looked paler than before, but her eyes had a different look than usual, no longer filled with anger or jealousy. "Thank you for agreeing to meet me," Nara said, sitting beside Yin, who nodded slightly without saying anything. Nara took a deep breath and began to speak. "I want to apologize, Yin." Yin looked at her with a confused expression. "Apologize?" "Yes, I admit defeat." Yin raised her eyebrows slightly, not expecting to hear those words from Nara. Nara continued, "No matter how hard I tried, Jungkook never turned to me. Even when I was sick, even when I threw up blood in front of him. His thoughts have always been on you." Nara's voice sounded bitter, but this time, it wasn't because of hatred. "I always hoped that one day Jungkook would see me, that he would realize I've always been there for him. But it turns out I was wrong. Even when I was at my weakest, he still chose you." Yin stared at Nara calmly, not showing pity or excessive sympathy. Nara smiled bitterly. "I don't want to disturb you both anymore. I'm tired. I just want to apologize to you, Yin, and also to Jungkook." Yin paused for a moment. Then, she took her hand out of her coat pocket. Her ring finger was adorned with a beautiful diamond ring. Nara's eyes widened in surprise. "Actually, I have something I want to tell you too," Yin said, lifting her hand slightly, letting the ring sparkle in the afternoon sunlight. "In 3 months, Jungkook and I will get married." Nara froze. Her face was still pale, but it was clear that she was struggling to swallow the reality of what she had just heard. Yin continued, "So I want to ask one thing from you." Nara looked at Yin cautiously. "Don't ever disturb our relationship again." The atmosphere grew more tense. "I hope you get better from your illness, Nara." "Truly." Yin's voice sounded sincere. However, after that, her expression turned cold. "But if, someday, you truly recover from your illness but still want to pursue Jungkook?" Yin leaned in slightly, staring directly into Nara's eyes with intensity. "Then you'd better just die." Nara froze in place. "Because I will never let anyone ruin my happiness again," Yin continued. After saying that, she stood up and walked away without looking back. She left Nara sitting alone on the park bench, frozen with an empty stare, as the evening breeze gently blew, carrying with it a chilling silence. 2 months later, a dimming sunset, a gentle breeze blows around a quiet cemetery. In the midst of this stillness, 2 figures stand side by side in front of a grave etched with the name Lee Nara. Creeping vines surround the grave, and the flowers around it look wilted, symbolizing the passage of time. The 2 individuals are Jungkook and Yin, both standing in silence, seemingly lost in their own thoughts. Jungkook stands tall, his hands folded in front of him, staring at the grave with a blank expression. His voice is heavy. I don't know how to feel. 2 months, time that can't be undone. Nara, she couldn't be saved. Her leukemia got worse, and in the end, she left." Yin stands beside him, gazing at the grave with an unreadable expression. Her voice is soft. "Yeah, do you feel sad? Because, no matter what, Nara was still your friend. A friend who was once so close to you." Jungkook remains silent for a moment, taking a deep breath. "Sad. Of course, I'm sad. But, this was meant to happen. But, sometimes I think, if Nara was still alive and kept interfering with our relationship, maybe that would be even more painful. I really didn't want to say this, but if her presence was going to threaten our relationship, maybe this is the best fate for all of us." Yin stays quiet, lowering her head. "Isn't there any regret in your heart for her? Because all she wanted was your love? I gave her what I thought was best for her. I valued her as a friend. Before we were together, I had already been friends with her, with the boundaries I thought a friendship should have." Jungkook pauses for a moment. Jungkook sighs softly. "I feel like I did what I had to do. Now, I just hope she's at peace there." Jungkook closes his eyes for a moment, takes a deep breath, then looks at Nara's grave once again. His voice seems to whisper along with the wind that blows across the cemetery. He speaks in his heart. Goodbye, Nara. I hope you're at peace there. Thank you for everything. And I'm sorry I couldn't make you happy. But even if time could go back, I would still do the same thing. Nothing would change, because the only person I love is Yin. Yin steps closer, wrapping her arms around Jungkook's waist and gently caressing his arm. Jungkook flinches, turning to look at Yin, bending down slightly to kiss her head. Baby, it's getting late. Let's go home. Yin nods, and they walk together, hand in hand, out of the cemetery area.
It's all the